Hey there, I'm Bree, and I go by Tip of the Moon, and I'm an energy healer. I'm creating a Reiki ASMR session for you today that helps with healing and releasing both trauma and shame. Usually they are very intertwined, and that our traumas lead to shame, and our shame leads to more trauma, yada yada. So just helping to loosen up and release those. Or you can just use it as a relaxing video that helps you calm down, whatever works. I'm going to use some crystals today, so I'm going to get into those. So the first stone I want to use is Hiddenite, which is a green kunzite, and it's very good to bring in joy and emotional healing. Sometimes working through trauma and shame can be very triggering, taking up all these heavy emotions, and we wanted to just set the stage by keeping it light, keeping it from a place of trying to find joy and happiness in releasing. Then I have some Suelite, which is sometimes also referred to as Rosaline. Kind of radiates, it's a pinkish color, and it radiates love and compassion, happiness, joy, and serenity. And it aids you as you embark on your journey into the depths and helps you kind of confront those deeper experiences, those deeper negative experiences. And then I have some Fuchsia, which is this greenish blue with ruby in it, and that Fuchsia, the greenish blue one, kind of help rejuvenate, find resolution, combined with that ruby, which is so strong and fierce and courageous. So bringing those two together, emotional healing and courage to just help you get through those things. And then I have this oil that I'm going to use to just do a massage on the energy and probably your face, just hopefully to feel comforting. And a lot of times shame and trauma and all these things are tied up with people hurting us, with touch and care being wrapped up in pain. And so just trying to reassociate, if you're open to it, having touch and care be positive things that feel good in the healing process. So there's some rose and lavender and hibiscus in there, and just hopefully feeling comforting and loving. And then I'm also going to use a spray today, and I just made this one with ever so slight amount of a little bit of rose and a little bit of jasmine, just to be loving and kind, help with forgiveness. And yeah, so I use this to cleanse out your aura. And it has a few little stones in it, some rose quartz that I put in there to just help mix up the oils. It also makes that nice sound. So this for your aura today, to just cleanse out the space. Also sounds nice. Very light and floral and fragrant, just coming in to drop you into this space. And just bringing your attention here to the healing, to the work that we're doing. And not spraying it on your face so much, it's just in your aura and around and brushing it in. And it's actually been raining here a little bit on and off, which always feels very cleansing. Some nice summer rain to cool things down in the evening. starting to peel back the layers and work on your energy. And I know that working with trauma and shame can bring up a lot of emotion in the body, in the physical body. And if you can, if you're open to it, if you're able to start to allow yourself to feel the physical effects, to connect with that physical energy, and allowing maybe a little bit of it to then be released. Noticing it so that you can feel it start to drop away little by little. Oftentimes we're talking about very heavy things, and this isn't a cure-all, but to just allow a little bit of that to be released. And just allowing some of that to be released. Hopefully. So first up, working with that Hiddenite, which has this beautiful green, kind of metallic, glassy color, and very light, very joyful, works very good, works really well with the heart space and just lightening things, lightening the mood a little bit. We don't want this to all feel awful and painful. We want this healing process to feel okay, to feel good as much as it can. And so using that Hiddenite for that intention of just keeping it light, keeping it as joyful as possible. And what I mean by that is we are in search of joy. We are releasing shame and trauma so that we can find the joy in being our true selves, who we were before trauma and shame found us, and start to use this work as a way to reconnect with that joyful self that we have within. and allowing ourselves to release anything that stands in the way of that bit by bit. Okay. So that is Hiddenite, very lovely stone. So next up I have Suelite, which is really good at dealing with like other pink stones like rose quartz and rhodochrosite. It's a very good stone for love and joy and your heart and the matters of the heart. But this one feels like how it's different than those is that it likes to go just a little bit deeper within and pull those things to the forefront. And I liked that this stone kind of felt like it fit in my finger like this to do that work of just pulling things up from the depths and allowing them to come to the surface for a moment, if you're okay with that, so that you can kind of see them a little bit more clearly, can start to connect and realize this is not something that is you. The trauma, the shame, they are not you. They can be released. They're not a part of you. You didn't call them in. You did nothing wrong. And you can you don't have to hold them down deep. They're not yours to carry. So allowing them to be pulled out. Just take a break from the pulling for a moment. We don't want to dig everything, every skeleton out of the closet at once. We want to give each one of these things our time and attention, because the process of healing them is so important. Okay, just a few more things. And hopefully, even if you don't have those kind of things that you're aware of, that we can pull them up a little bit energetically or subconsciously, pulling them to the forefront, pulling them out of the depths. Sometimes we're not aware of how much stuff we're holding on the inside until it comes to the surface. A lot of times people say, oh, I was suddenly crying, or, I suddenly felt all of this weight on me. It's because we're humans. We tend to block out all these extra things, all this stimuli that we're, especially in our modern world, everything that is assaulting our conscious being at all times, we block them out. So if you've been carrying something with you for a while, it's easy to get used to it. Allowing them to be pulled to the surface a little bit. It's a little bigger one. It was big enough that it made my light pop at the same time. It's made of plastic and it sometimes creaks. Alright, very good. So again, that was Suelite, and sometimes called Rosaline. Can be a lot lighter pink or darker pink depending on the manganese content. But this one's from Norway. It's very nice. And then I have the Fuchsite with the ruby throughout. It's very the Fuchsite is very sparkly. I'm not sure if that shows up on the camera, just lightly throughout. So the Fuchsite for emotional healing, very rejuvenative. It kind of restores our emotional body. You know how just working on a muscle makes you sore? Sometimes working through a lot of emotional stuff makes us sore. And so we're trying to replace some of that with rejuvenation. And then the ruby for courage, and a little bit of fire too in it. It is very much very juicy and courageous. So brushing that through your energetic body. Allowing it to get into all the different places and rejuvenate your emotional self and energetic self. Give you a little fire and courage for the next time that you address these big feelings, these emotions, these big, heavy bits, that you feel a little stronger, a little more confident in what you're doing. Just brushing that all through, refreshing, adding a little fire, a little courage, those strengths. All the way through your energy body. Very good. Okay. So just a little bit of that to refresh your energy. And then I wanted to finish off with just a little energy massage that hopefully will feel comforting and loving and good. Trying to associate good relaxation and whatnot with the work you're doing. I'm actually going to take off my rings before I use this though. Okay. And just placing a few drops for love and compassion and hope. And healing. And working that oil in so that it smells soft like rose, really red rose. I'm going to use a little more. A few more drops. Just get that on my fingertips. Okay. And start to work that in. Allowing ourselves to associate this sort of work with love and healing, and reclaiming our bodies and our energy for good. Allowing ourselves to trust if you're open to it. And if you've made it this far in the session, you are doing so good. I'm very proud. And it just started raining here again, which feels just so comforting. Just a little bit. I don't think you can hear it in the video. Just soft, gentle drizzle. Feels cozy and safe, but cleansing as well. Okay, if you're open to it, just some light face brushing. Just gently massaging your temples, working into the forehead. We can hold so much stress up in our scalp and our temples. Down the bridge of your nose. And just really allowing your face to start to relax, your head, and all that stress to just release. Down to your jaw. You can hold so much with cleansing your jaw, so being very delicate here, because I know that can be very sensitive. Just being light, suggesting to your body that you loosen up these areas. And a little bit underneath the jaw along the chin line. And moving up to the cheeks very gently. I'm not squishing your whole face, just gentle. Pushing and pulling so that we're getting all of those cheek muscles. Allowing my pinky along the jawline. It's good. And now that your face is relaxed, just lightly brushing on the very surface. Perfect. You did so good. That's much better. I'm just gonna come back a little bit into the aura. Make sure everything feels nice and loose. Very good. Okay. Thank you so much. I really hope that this was a helpful and safe space for you to work through some of those emotions that you may have, or maybe just nice to relax. But hopefully this was helpful. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed my channel, please, like, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a tip on the super thanks or whatever it's called. All of it is so appreciated. And to all my patrons who make all this work possible, thank you so much. Have a good one.